Nuclear drama is a term that many people have a different interpretation for. But for me, it's anything that's on my Twitter feed for more than a goddamn week, and that's exactly what happened with the Kenji doxing incident. Because what started as him breaking down on stream and revealing to everyone that he's been doxed 2 years ago and has been having to deal with the consequences ever since, evolved into something like you'd find in a crime ring documentary, bro. Like the people involved, the fact that a member of a renowned VTuber group was involved, the fact that the doxer was an ex-moderator of his, it went deep and eventually devolved into another VTuber stepping in and pretty much fighting 1v1 with her community and his community. So it started as like this crime ring documentary and ended up as a UFC fight. It's insane, all in the span of a week. Now it's still fairly recent as it happened barely a couple weeks before I published this video, but I would argue that this is going to be remembered in the VTubing community for a long time from now, because it was just that impactful. Let's check it out together. After 6 months of preparation, my VTuber debut is happening tomorrow. Yes, just 1 day after this video is published. Make sure to check it out. Also, on that same day, I'm releasing a plushie, baby. I'm gonna link it in the description and the pinned comment. Let's go! The VTuber at the center of this incident, battlefield, cancerous tumor, whatever you want to call it, is Kenji. And look, there's a good chance that if you know VTubing, you know Kenji. He's been streaming since 2020, and in those 4 years, he's managed to make quite an impact in his own way. He has his typical VTuber model, right? But over time, he also started incorporating other models, such as this one that he uses a lot, and this one right here that he teased for a while, right? His community was so hyped for it, and then he comes up with the South Park meme like it's nothing. So he's definitely not the traditional type of VTuber, right? And he used that to his advantage. Now, in February 2023, he released this video called Kenji Gets Exposed Face Reveal, sitting at 1.2 million views. As you can imagine, being a VTuber and revealing your IRL face is kind of a big deal, especially when your model looks so good, because people have the very realistic expectation that you'll look just as, if not more handsome than your model IRL, with the same features of blue eyes, a cap, a hoodie, headphones around your neck 24/7. So that's what happened, right? Well, no, actually. He looked nothing like his model, which helped a lot with the hype. Like, oh my god, wow, like we weren't expecting that. People loved it. It was cool. It definitely made a big impact in the VTubing community. Everyone was talking about it. But here's the thing. It turns out that this video was not as innocent as people thought it was when it released. In fact, this video wasn't even something that Kenji wanted to ever do. This is the equivalent of him having a gun to his head and having to do this video because he had no other choice. And you can literally see that in the intro of the video, which for whatever reason, people didn't really get much suspicion from. But honestly, when you watch it now after everything that's been going on, it makes a lot of sense. And it definitely isn't as funny as it used to be. Watch.
We might be doing a face reveal. It's not that I want to, it's that I got exposed. Sooner than what I expected, not gonna lie. Kind of happy we got this far. I have gotten exposed on Twitter. Not in a malicious way, okay? Are they like threatening you? No, there's no threat, chat. It's no threat. I feel like I could just wait. Like no one would really know, but like, I feel like I should do it first, just in case, you know what I mean? So I could get the views and money. Kenji, what the what, bro?
He did get the views, he did get the money, but at the same time, he was reassuring his chat about something that wasn't true. This was malicious, and this was kind of a threat. And the reason he released this video was to out-dox the doxer, to reveal his face before someone else could, because they were holding it against him. But here's the thing, he might have revealed his face, but he didn't reveal his address. Who the hell would do that? He didn't reveal his real name. Who the hell would do that again? But the doxer had this information and held it over him for a while. Now, Kenji would continue his live streaming, pretending like nothing was going on, while in the background, behind the scenes, this was a worry on his mind for a long time, until he couldn't take it anymore. Because on April 17th, he made this tweet, and before making this tweet, he streamed on a now privated VOD, where he broke down crying. Here's what he had to say. I cried on stream and broke down out of frustration yesterday. I was told Dovela VT, let's just call her Dove, was downplaying doxing me in a voice call by Phoenix a while back, another VTuber. It's been f***ing with my mental ever since he told me. I don't know who else she's been downplaying it to, but let me remind you, Dove, you didn't allegedly dox me. You put out my personal information, shared pictures, and videos of me in a Discord hate group chat. The reason I took down my initial post and swept everything under the rug was because I feared if I didn't get on her good side, she'd continue to cause trouble behind the scenes. I didn't want my government name and face being the center of attention. I didn't want to put my safety or my family's safety at risk. But at this point, I don't know what to do. If she's that comfortable downplaying what she's done in voice calls now, I don't think keeping quiet will be the safest option for me. Also, to the people that knew what she did and still chose to fuck with her, suck my dick and block me, I'm tired of being silenced and living in fear. So of course, when this dropped, it was a bombshell, okay? This was a nuclear meltdown happening within the Vtuber community. But here's the thing, while people mostly understood that he was being doxxed, many people had no clue what the hell he was referring to, right? Many people were confused over what he's talking about. Because those 3 paragraphs contained so much more information than someone not familiar with the situation could initially see. So of course, this post also had screen caps of that hate group with proof, writing his full name, linking his personal Instagram with no remorse. This was back in January 2022, so this was 2 years ago. And of course, as you might guess, many things happened behind the scenes for him to reveal his face a year after finding out that he was being doxxed in that hate group, only to then come out in 2024 and reveal this whole thing to the world because he was simply running out of options. Immediately after, as people were still reeling in from this massive bombshell, not knowing what to even think, Dove comes in with an apology. Now look, we will get to this apology, but first I think you should get to know her a bit better because she didn't just dox Kenji, she did way more than that. Dove is a VTuber, but before that she was a mod for Kenji. At some point she got demodded and had these very normal feelings of hatred start to build up. Because how dare you demod me? How dare you take away my modding privileges? Now yes, of course it sounds funny, a crazy mod just being crazy, but she took those hateful feelings way too far. She would go out of her way to go to other people in the VTubing space, which look, at the time was fairly small, it's only been developing quickly now. And she would whisper in everyone's ears telling them how terrible of a person Kenji was and that they should avoid him. Even doing so with minors! Look at this right here. It's all in the statement by this artist called Hayate. So when she was 16, she made a twit longer talking about Kenji's treatment of artists, which was purely based on what others had said to her, right? And listen, bear in mind, she's 16 here, so she's very easily manipulated. You're very impressionable at that age. Dove would tell her that he could not be trusted and even went through the trouble. Listen, listen, take a step back and listen to this, all right? Dove went through the trouble to privately call Hayate, right? But seeing that she's a minor, Hayate's mother wanted to be in the call, so she still went through with the call, right? And spoke to Hayate's mother, telling her how bad of a person Kenji is. Like, look at the effort here, dude. That is so weird to me. Like, does anyone else here think this is normal? Like, okay, listen, props to the mother for actually kind of looking out for her daughter who's a minor on the internet. Who knows? Dove could have been like a 40-year-old creep. But dude, going out of your way as Dove to change people's opinions, to influence them, to let them know that Kenji's a terrible person to the point where you'll talk to a minor's mother? That is insane to me. But that's what happened. So Dove would encourage her to make some sort of a twit longer saying how bad Kenji is to artists or whatever to kind of stain his reputation. And she regrets the fact that she couldn't talk to Kenji beforehand to kind of straighten it out because of course there's always 2 sides to every story. When she released the document, Kenji took time out of his day to tell her exactly what Dove has done to him so far in terms of her doxing him and harassing him the way she's doing now and turning people against him, etc. Which resulted in Hayate being very shocked. So as you can see, Dove is not mentally okay, alright? This is not someone you want in your life. This is not someone you want as your enemy. She will literally go out of her way to call minors to turn them against you. You understand? She is insane. So this apology came 2 years after she initially doxed him and 2 years in which she tried her damn best to turn as many people as she can against him, even reaching members of a well-renowned VTuber group in the community. But they of course addressed this later. Dove's apology came right after Kenji's statement, and it said this: "First and foremost, I want to apologize to Kenji for doxing him. I want to make it clear that I'm aware of my actions and have been doing everything to educate and better myself since the day I learned how severe it was for me to expose Kenji's legal birth name and his face in a group chat. That information is and can be harmful in the wrong hands, which in this case were my own. This was a huge mistake that I've done my best to learn from for almost 2 years, and I understand that the passage of time is no excuse for me not to be held accountable today." As far as the timeline goes, I doxed Kenji in January 2022 in a private group chat consisting of 5 people. I gave his legal name, as well as a few pictures of his face. My friends found his Instagram, as well as a family member of his, and sent it as well. Right, this wasn't just him that was doxed. It was a family member. That is so weird. This was immediately wrong. Unfortunately, back then I was not aware of the severity of what I had done, as I would show my own personal Instagram as well my face because I did not care about anonymity back then for myself. This does not excuse any of the doxing, and it was put more into perspective when I learned over time how dangerous it was. I had the wrong initial mindset completely. 9 months after I doxed Kenji in the group chat, so late 2022, he was made aware of this and made a tweet detailing what I had done while also sharing the same screenshots. While I was still learning the dangers of doxing, this was the moment that made it evident to me how awful my mistake was. I had no right to share that information, and I've had to live with the fact that my actions would have put him in danger if I had continued the way I was in that group chat. So right here, she's referencing what Kenji referenced in his post. He had said here, the reason I took down my initial post and swept everything under the rug was because I feared if I didn't get on her good side, she'd continue to cause trouble behind the scenes. So this wasn't his first time reaching out to his community out of desperation. When he took that initial post down, here's what happened. Within the following nights, Kenji and I got into a call together with a mutual friend who would mediate so we could talk things out. We discussed issues we've had with each other in the past, including everything leading up to the doxing situation and the post about it. We both apologized for things we were upset at each other for, and I had asked him if he was okay with me still supporting him and staying around in his community. He said it was fine, we said our goodbyes, and left the call. Following that call, I would rarely pop into his stream, and that progressed to me just supporting his offline content from the sidelines, as I knew he was still uncomfortable with me. I wonder why. And I wanted to give him space. I spent my time with new friends in a new space. The damage had already been done and I didn't want to hurt him anymore, so for the past year and a half since our conversation, I've tried to move forward as someone who understands the hurt I've caused and stayed in my own lane while giving him space in hopes that it would help him heal. He is completely valid for everything he feels. I have and always will be sorry for what I've done. Seeing him break down and detailing his trauma on stream was heartbreaking, and I can't begin to imagine what he must have been feeling all this time. Kenji, I'm sorry for doxing you. It was a stupid mistake to have even made it in the first place. No matter how much time passes, it will always be one of my biggest regrets. I, as well as the people around me, will always hold myself accountable for this. I genuinely wish the best for you and hope that you don't still see me as the idiot I was 2 years ago. Now, of course, we know at this point that the statement is worth nothing, because the reason why he even presented this proof again was because in a very recent call with another VTuber, Phoenix, she downplayed it. She was like, oh, I only allegedly doxed him. You know, it wasn't a big deal, but it was. So everything she's saying has zero meaning. She's only apologizing because she got caught. Plain and simple. I mean, look at this dude. Look at this clown show. I understand and respect not wanting to support me anymore, as I know you all have boundaries, but I truly hope that you would believe me to have changed from how I was years ago and realize that I do deeply regret my mistakes and my past. I work hard every day to be a better person and will do everything in my power continue to reflect that. Someone quote tweeted that and said years ago, last year, guys, how the f do I become a bigger VTuber? Controversy sells, not gonna lie, you're right. Aside from that, grind out and pray. I'm a dox Kenji again. It's like, yeah, guys, I promise I'm no longer the idiot I was 2 years ago. We've apologized. I've grown as a person. I swear what I did was really wrong. It haunts me at night, guys. I swear. It's going to make me cry. I'm going to just dox Kenji again, I guess. So look, honestly, the best part for me when I make a video like this is having a clear villain. Dove is a clear villain. I can very safely say she's a very terrible person and she deserves everything that's been happening to her. But unfortunately for us, this isn't just a one and off done deal, Dove is the villain, bye bye. No, because this group chat had other people. People who would pretend that everything's fine between them and Kenji, but in reality, we're in that group chat, we're well aware of the dox, and would also hate on him behind his back. And those were not small, irrelevant VTubers, they had fan bases behind them. Slowly but surely, other people in the group chat would start to talk about this because, I mean, they were forced at this point. Images had leaked showing exactly who was in that group chat. So you have someone like Thintrovert, who has a following, right? Come in and say, I don't know how to talk about this or how to express what I'm feeling right now. I'm going to be cutting ties with Dove for my own mental well-being. But here's the thing, buddy. You literally own the group chat. Like, you're right here, dude. You're right here. He makes sure to mention that this group chat was not the one used in the initial Kenji dox in 2022, and that it was created after Kenji and Dove's apology to each other, back in early 2023. But in this same group chat that he owns, she downplayed the doxing. They were trash-talking him and hating on him and trying to convert as many people to their side behind his back. I mean, you can literally see this guy in the group chat participating saying, oh god, what happened? Someone came to me about Kenji because they also had experiences with him. It was completely by chance. Oh damn, update? Or did they want to be kept secret? Buddy, you know exactly what was going on. Get the hell out of here, dude. You're a weirdo. Okay, listen, this is one of the funniest parts of this incident. Okay, listen. One of the people in the group chat, in the hate group chat against Kenji, was this dude called Jiggly King, who openly had a diaper fetish. And he would apparently put oatmeal inside the diaper so he could pretend he was sitting in his own shit. His name was Jiggly, aka otherwise known as Vinksv. Please diaper me up. Please put me in diapers. I'm begging you so much to please put me in some nice soft padded diapers. Bro, bro, I just can't imagine. I find a group chat, right? Some people there are my friends, people I know, people I think everything's okay between me and them. And then there's this guy who literally wants to sit in a diaper full of oatmeal, actively hating on me. I don't know. Like, at that point, I would literally just quit VTubing just because of this right here. Like, I would just quit because of this. Like, how the hell did it come to this? How the hell do I have a diaper freak hating on me? Something must have gone wrong. But the real point in which this drama gets complex is the inclusion of the Mofongo boys. Now, this is a group of 4 different male VTuber friends who are well known in this community, especially their biggest member, Rami, the guy with the blue hair. They constantly collabed with Dove, and there was even one of these 4 members that was active in that backstabbing group chat. Things were getting spicy because, of course, they never expressed any issues with Kenji, and some were even cool with him, allegedly. You see how many layers of complexity this thing has, dude? You see this? What the hell is wrong with VTubers, man? Now here's the thing. Phoenix, the guy who told Kenji that Dove was still downplaying the doxing in a voice call that he had with her recently, also hung out with her and collabed with her on stream. And this is what he had to say on the same day Kenji talked about the doxing. Regarding the Dove doxing situation with Kenji in the past, I want to clarify that I've held her accountable as soon as it happened. I've held her accountable every time it's been brought up, and I will continue to hold her accountable for it. I didn't and won't sweep it under the rug, and it's not something that anyone should laugh off whatsoever. I want to talk about this more later. Now, of course, the replies are praising him. Oh my god, good job, you did the right thing, I'm proud of you, but can we take a step back here and talk about something? As this tweet points it out, I'm just flabbergasted that Phoenix was the one who told Kenji, but still streamed with her, and his whole group, Mofongo, did too. Y'all are praising a man who still hung out with that girl. What the fuck? Like, explain why you did that. That's the thing, right? So he was aware that Dove had doxed Kenji. And yes, anytime it's brought up, he would say, wow, you did a bad thing, Dove. That's something to be ashamed of. But the next day he was collabing and playing games with her on stream. What gives? Listen, man, let's keep it very simple, okay? If I knew a friend and I knew another friend who doxed him, I knew about the dox, that they had not just doxed him, his government name, his address, but also a family member. Buddy, I'm cutting ties immediately. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They could have saved my mother in a house fire. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna say bye. Like, are you kidding me? Even if they allegedly apologized afterwards, bro, that is a red flag. If she doxed him, what's stopping her from doxing you? So that's why even though he let Kenji know about what was going on, it still feels kind of weird. Another member of Mofongo, Andy SSJ, said, I would like to first apologize for this delayed message. I'm angry and disappointed at myself for not understanding the situation better. I will describe my side in the best way I can. First and foremost, I do agree with how Kenji feels 1000%. He has every right to be. Putting out personal information like that is not okay. Doxing someone is very serious and can harm not only the streamer but their family and friends, especially when one of the doxes are a family member. I do not have much to put out on my side of the story because the situation was dealt with between the respective parties. However, I will not excuse myself for not knowing the problem because at the end of the day, I deeply apologize for that. From what I was told, both parties discussed the situation and reached a neutral agreement. I now know that, unfortunately, that was not the case. Please send your love to Kenji. So he thought everything was okay. He wasn't part of the group chat. He just knew that, yes, they had issues, but they apologized in 2023 after the 2022 dox, and that was that. But he does take responsibility into not looking at it further. It does feel like it's too little too late, but he didn't mention that Dove was mentioning the doxing to him on more than one occasion like Phoenix. And then he says, I will be cutting ties with Dove. But then, a day after that initial statement and 2 days after Kenji had posted about his dox, on April 19th, Andy comes out with one hell of another bombshell saying, I will be cutting ties with the Mofongo boys and fam. I've been informed about these hate group chats as of today that I had no idea about. I was not involved in any of these hate group chats. Seeing all these things about the people who I thought I knew hurts my heart. I do try and see the good in people, but the things I recently saw is not okay. I apologize to the people who were hurt in all of this. I'll be taking some time off to collect my thoughts. I'll be moving forward by myself. So, boom, all of a sudden, 1 out of the 4 people in Mofongo Boys is gone out of the group. Andy's like, I'm out. And the house of cards was starting to fall apart. But of course, everyone was waiting on one person in particular statement, which was Mofongo Boys' biggest member, Rami. A day after Kenji came out with a statement, he said, cutting ties, and linked a Google document saying addressing Dove. I had to write this down as I know I'm horrible with words. I agree 100% with Kenji. Doxing is a crime and it could have put him and his family at massive risk. I believe he thinks I knew of Dove's actions prior, but no, I did not know until I recently apologized to Kenji in a group chat on April 10th. So that's around 7 days before Kenji posted his statement. I wasn't in a group at the time when this big thing happened, so I can't apologize for the others. So here he's referring to how he joined the Mofongo boys later, after the initial dox and after the apology in 2023. So he had no idea what happened prior. The situation and its severity was also a mystery to me. All in all, I just have to gather how I feel at the moment, and right now what I should do is certain. I will be cutting ties with Dove, and also I apologize for the week that I didn't know and I should have done something. Hearing it put me in a confused and emotionally paralyzed state. Me and him may not see eye to eye, but this is without a doubt 100% a time for everyone to prioritize him. I send my best regards to Kenji. I wanted to apologize for putting stress onto him in his community for whom I was connected to as well. And then he apologizes again for not talking about this as soon as he heard the word dox, which was a week before Kenji had talked about it, and the community was behind him. And then on the next day, he put the final nail in the coffin in Mofongo Boys, saying, after everything that has happened today, I'm cutting ties from the Mofongo Boys. So many things have made me aware of the actions of my group members behind my back with all this new information. This group was gradually growing, and if I had tried my best to know more, I would have been able to help everyone affected. I sought to find a place to fit in without knowing truly who they are as people. I apologize for those who have supported us as a whole. I'm fucking distraught and now losing my entire year of trust put into friends I thought I'd have for the entirety of my career and lifetime. I'll be better with my actions to lead your trust and not my words. Even now, I don't know everything, and now that I know I don't, I can't keep hoping for the best and trusting like I do. So man, poor Rakami, dude. Like, the dude joins in 2023. This whole doxing thing happened in 2022. He has no idea what's going on, right? He joins after the whole apology thing between Dove and Kenji had happened. He's just put in the middle of this massive war of backstabbing and doxing, and he's like, dude, fuck this. I'm out. Like, I have nothing to do here. This is bullshit. And of course, Phoenix comes out and says his statement. He wasn't in the group chats. He didn't know what was going on in the DMs. You know, again, like, that's not what should have been the game changer. You already knew about the doxing. You already were well aware about what Dove had done. In any case, he placed his trust in the wrong person and it backfired horribly. So he also left Mofongo Boys. And with that being said, 3 members out of the 4 left the group. And I mean, that was it. Overnight, Mofongo Boys was just a dead group. It was over, just gone. But there was one more person who hadn't left yet, who was left alone, and that's someone who was in the group chat, one of its most active members with Dove, by the name of Kage. Now, dude, Kage is a piece of work, okay? This guy is just, I mean, even his moderators are incredible. Look at this. This is one of his moderators. Look at what they said in the chat when this was all going on. So this is her talking to Kage, saying, Dove was super in the wrong. You also didn't do the right thing either by not cutting ties sooner. True so far. Listen, hey, I agree so far. Okay. You were literally the mediator. As much as I wish Kenji heals from this, I won't be supporting him either by saying I don't think he was in the right either by streaming all of his trauma. Huh? What? Huh? It sends the message to younger viewers and those who struggle with social cues that it's okay to use the audience for trauma dumping, and it's not. I just hope you can all heal from this. Wait, what? This dude got doxxed, tried to resolve this as many times as possible behind the scenes. This is trauma dumping. This was done out of desperation, dude. And yeah, if his mods are like that, wait till you see the guy himself. He privated all his videos on YouTube and changed his bio to this: I need help. I want to show people that I've changed for the better. Him and Kenji got on a voice call on stream, and this is how it went. Check this out.
I really wanted to, like, you know, I did.
Why did it take you so long to cut off Dove?
Oh, yeah. So about cutting off Dove, after that, I realized my actions of what I did, right? And I wanted to better myself. And
I left. I ain't trying to hear that.
Like, you know, this was pretty much a PR apology, right? Like, oh, I was just trying to better myself. Dude, the thing is, he was an active part of the group chat, always talking with Dove about Kenji behind his back. He had a problem with Kenji, and that much was obvious. I mean, you really can't feel sorry for him for having been hung up on. Look at the stuff he was saying in the group chat. I hate to say this, but this man needs to be canceled, lol. He's referring to Kenji. I don't like using this word, but at this point, he has the biggest fucking ego that I've ever known. Oh, I had realized my decisions and I had grown as a person, and yeah, of course. People started coming out talking about how Kage had treated them. This is an artist, right? Talking about a commission that Kage had hired him for. So Kage had commissioned him to make something for him, right? And apparently kept adding things to the commission as it was near completion, delaying it. And since that happened, Kage, by the end of it, wanted to pay a bit less, right? Now you think, okay, like what, how much are we talking here? You know, like how much of an inconvenience is it really? It turns out the commission was $10 and Kage deducted $2, paying the artist $8. I deducted 50 cents per hour, so that's like -2 from the original. Is that okay? Yeah, just pay me whatever you feel like. At this point, he was like, listen, bro, just get this over with. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Just get the hell out of here. He then changed his profile picture on Twitter to I'm sorry, and it turns out that it was an image of Google. I mean, no, look at this. Look, let's try this out real quick. I'm sorry, PNG. Okay? Okay, what about just I'm sorry, image? It's the same fucking website, dude. That's insane, dude. It's like on the first page, you just took this and cropped it using Twitter. I went through the effort of Googling this, dude. Do you not understand how sorry I am? He deleted all his Twitch content and said, I want people to see that I'm a changed person in his bio. And in this now deleted VOD, thank you so much, Arindel, for backing it up, he went live to pretty much say that he's sorry.
I don't want you to forgive me. I really don't. I feel like I deserve this. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I just thought I was a good person. I wanted.
So pretty much like trying his best to guilt trip the chat. And it wasn't really like a very well thought out apology. It was just him pretty much rambling and saying things like that, right? So 11 days after Kenji had come out in public telling us all this, Kage released a statement on his YouTube channel with the title, I'm sorry, goodbye. Right, this is why I take time to make these videos, right? I don't make them immediately because I know things like this are gonna happen. There's something called developments. It's 20 minutes. Let me sum it up for you real quick. He pretty much says that his rivalry with Kenji started a long time ago. Now look, he doesn't specify the date, but it's early on in both their careers. You know, again, Kenji started in 2020, Kage was being a VTuber back then as well. So according to him, it started with how Kage was copying the format of TikToks that Kenji was using, that he argues other creators such as Ludwig were using as well. And he argues that while he was preparing for his second debut with a new model, every time he would tweet a teaser, Kenji would immediately tweet something else, kind of making fun of him in a way, trying to undermine him. In any case, this hostility peaked when Kenji would subtweet him, saying, I'm trying everything not to be petty, but seeing motherfuckers blatantly copy my content, edits, design, and jokes word for word pisses me off. Like, bro, how shameless are you? Someone replies, hey man, can't you just DM them instead of subtweeting? Kenji says, no, it would be better to just post a side-by-side comparison and at them to drag them publicly. So at that point, Kage's like, okay, listen, let me just DM him because he's probably talking about me. What's up? And they DM each other. Kenji confirms that he was subtweeting about him and pretty much says that, yes, you're copying me because you hired my same TikTok editor. You hired my same artist who made my model. You go live right after I finish my live streams and play the same games I play and even sometimes make the same jokes I was making. They then argue about this, right? With Kage being pissed that he was gatekeeping his editor, gatekeeping his artist. They both were saying how their actions to each other were affecting their mental health. Then after arguing for a while, Kenji says, overall, was the subtweet petty? Yes, I was being immature and I probably should have talked to you in the very beginning to make sure there was no misunderstandings. I appreciate you listening to my side of things and thanks for sharing your side as well. They then had a call immediately after to clear things up. Here's what Kage had to say about the call.
Assumptions and miscommunications, which was why we had our own call. I admit it traumatized me, but...
He was traumatized, guys. In any case, they had a call and as far as they were concerned, they cleared things up. Now, yes, admittedly, Kenji was acting weird. Subtweeting is always immature. I don't think there's ever a time and a place where subtweeting is warranted. But hey, they talked it out, and at the end, he apologized and did admit it was petty and had a call with him, right? So that's cool. Water under the bridge, or so we thought. A while later at some point, right, for whatever reason, okay, Kage was alerted by the group chat that Kenji was abusing his mods because, of course, Dove used to be his mod, he unmodded her, she always claims that he treated her terribly. So she sent her guard dog to Kenji's DMs, which is Kage, and he said, so I've heard you've been humiliating more people. Why are you ranking mods from best to worst? Bro, you are outing yourself right now. So what happened here is that Kenji had a vote for Employee of the Month in his Discord. And by Employee of the Month, he means the best mod, the community's favorite. And according to Dove and the group chat and Kage, this was mod abuse. To which Kenji replies, get off my d***, we were doing a podcast and then an Employee of the Month thing, it's memes, dickhead, hop off me. And then Kage says, I don't know what's going on here. Memes, what memes? Employee of the month? Still shaming if I say so myself. Do you even pay your mods? I've heard a lot of things that happened during your podcast. Damn, being a bit aggressive, I see. So as you can see, he came on very aggressively in the DMs. Again, influenced by the group chat, by Dove, coming in hostile as hell. But Kenji still was talking to him. He was still replying. And then he says this. You must know a lot about the mods not being paid, huh? I'm sure you know about me giving $1,000 to a mod of mine to get herself a PC. Did you also know I buy games for the mods so they can participate in little game nights? Oh wait, don't forget the scheduled stream event where all the mods are going to get the donations from that stream. Now, of course, most people with half a brain would have backed off and said, you know what, I'm sorry, man. It's your mod team. It's none of my business. I don't even know why I'm in these DMs. I'm probably being manipulated. In any case, then he says, well, good for you on that part, but you shouldn't consider your mods as employee unless you actually pay them wages or salary. They are just volunteers helping you out. Also, why dispute this over 400 plus people instead of you and your mods only? But still, instead of ignoring him and just moving on, Kenji still insists on talking to him and clarifying things. Bro, I promise I'm not some evil guy, like I do my own thing, joke around a lot, that's all. What happens between us before was already resolved, and if it's not, I'll again extend my hand if you'd like to hop in a call. It's easy to misinterpret messages, that's why I don't like writing, and calling usually clears things up because you can't understand the tone of everything. So look, all this does is just show us that Kenji was always willing to talk things out. Someone has a problem, you can call him. He wasn't always perfect, right? He was a shit talker, and yeah, he did do some weird things like subtweeting sometimes, but at the end of the day, when you reached out, he was always willing to talk to you no matter who you were. Then Kage ends his apology by saying that he's grown as a person, and that he didn't really participate much in the group chat after 2022. He really believes that Dove has grown as well. Whatever, honestly, at that point, he was just yapping. He even admits this, check this out.
I admit, yes, in anger, we did try to plan something that would get him canceled, but it obviously didn't go through because we thought there was no point to it anymore.
I'm glad.
Everything was made up, which was why the Google Doc was deleted. Or
not only did they have a group to hate on him, but they also came up with an elaborate plan to cancel him. But thankfully it's been scrapped, right? So hey, who cares, right? So Kenji had admittedly ruined like a few careers overnight, right? People who used their platform to do bad things, and in the process ended the Mofongo Boys project. And for many people, that was it. You know, it was over. The good guys had won and the bad guys had lost. Just another day of justice in the VTubing sphere. Until something no one could have expected ended up happening. And it ended up upping the stakes on this controversy even more than we could have ever predicted. Sayu, who was Zion under Nijisanji before being fired, and who is now a fairly big VTuber in the space, says this. I'll be honest, from having been dox attacked myself, no one deserves to be doxed, but those people also have to understand that when they spread hate in other ways, this is how it feels. Karma does come around. I hope they learn that bashing on others for content isn't great. Of course, she's here referring to Kenji. All of a sudden, you had a conflict between two communities that absolutely nuked the VTubing sphere in an unimaginable way. These two communities are both extremely loyal to their VTubers, both Kenji and Sayu's side. I'm telling you, the things that happened were insane. But because of the level of complexity in that incident and the things we have to talk about, guys, I'm gonna be real here. I'm not trying to milk this, but I just can't be fucking bothered to put it all in one video. I'm not gonna lie. Like I have a debut coming up, right? So I can't make a 1 hour video just like that. So I'm gonna be working on a part 2. Keep your eye out for that, okay? But until then, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. I love you. Mwah.